Chapter 13, The War Years, Struggles and Adaptations. The outbreak of World War I in 1914 marked a profound turning point, not only in global history, but also in the personal life and artistic career of Beatrix Potter. As the war engulfed Europe, it brought with it a sense of uncertainty and chaos that permeated every aspect of life, influencing the thoughts and actions of individuals, including fiber artists, writers, and illustrators like Potter. While she had established her reputation as a beloved children's author and illustrator with classics such as The Tale of Peter Rabbit, the war would push Potter to adapt her artistic endeavors and respond to the shifting social realities around her. Initially, like many artists and creators of her time, Beatrix was plagued by deep anxiety and concern for the welfare of friends, family, and the broader society. The war posed a multitude of challenges, not least of which was the loss of loved ones and the uncertainty surrounding their fates. Her close connection to the Lake District, where she had sought refuge and inspiration, stood in stark contrast to the devastation that rumbled across the continent. With her partner, the farmer William Heelis, she felt the desperation of rural communities and the impact that the mobilization of reserve resources would have on agriculture. Beatrix, who had closely aligned herself with the land and its rhythms, watched the devastation of war ripple through her peaceful existence and found herself struggling against the waves of despair that threatened to consume her. In responding to the turmoil of the times, Potter demonstrated remarkable resilience. Whereas previously her illustrations were filled with whimsical anthropomorphism, capturing the innocence of childhood and the joys of nature, Potter shifted her focus. Inspired by her surroundings during the war years, she sought solace in her garden and in the natural beauty of the Lake District. This newfound relationship with the landscape can be seen in her later works, where the vibrancy of her paintings began to reflect the beauty of rural life, serving not just as a retreat, but also as a subtle protest against the war's chaos. It was during this period that she began to capture the delicate flora and fauna of her environment with renewed vigor, painting landscapes that highlighted resilience in the face of adversity. Moreover, the war years also brought about changes in the manner in which Beatrix Potter engaged with her audience. During the conflict, she realized the power of storytelling as a therapeutic mechanism, not only for herself, but also for children who were facing the harsh realities of a war-torn world. With many young boys being sent to the front lines and families coping with the loss of loved ones, her stories provided a form of escapism. They offered comfort and conveyed messages of hope and bravery, allowing children to momentarily forget the traumas that lay beyond their doors. While many artists were retreating into despair or using their art to critique the war, Beatrix chose to uplift the spirit through her stories, ensuring that the themes of courage, adventure, and resilience remained central to her work, even during such grim times. Despite her inclination toward celebrating nature and childhood innocence, the war prompted Potter to become increasingly involved in social issues. Aware of the toll that conflict was taking on communities, she began to support local relief efforts. This social activism led her to become an advocate for preserving the environment, expressing concern over the agricultural policies enacted during wartime. With farming communities under duress, Beatrix endeavored to use her influence and artistic talents to draw attention to the importance of land conservation and sustainable practices. Her awareness of socio-political factors deepened, revealing her commitment not only to her art, but also to the issues challenging her beloved Lake District. As the years of conflict continued, Beatrix had to adapt not just her artistic output, but also the way she operated within the publishing world. The war shifted attention away from leisure reading, altering the market for children's literature. Publishers faced limitations and shortages in materials, making it difficult for books to reach readers. In response, Potter sought to innovate by considering alternative formats and means of distribution. The war years saw her exploring new avenues through which she could reach children, including illustrated pamphlets and fundraising efforts that merged her artistic endeavors with charitable goals. This adaptability ensured that her works remained available to those who needed them, even if the traditional publishing avenues were disrupted. Potter's work during the war reflects a duality. There is a profound sense of longing woven into her art, echoing the deep losses inflicted by the war. Simultaneously, there is an underlying current of hope, resilience, and a celebration of ordinary life and nature. She penned letters that conveyed empathy for the struggles of those affected by the war, offering consolation even as she dealt with her losses. Her artistic practice during this time became a bridge between her personal challenges and the collective grief of society, crafting illustrations that served, in many ways, as visual letters to the world. Ultimately, as the war came to a close in 1918, Beatrix Potter's adaptations during this tumultuous period provided her with a renewed vision for her artistic legacy. Out of struggle sprang a deepened appreciation for nature and the human spirit. While the world had been irrevocably altered by war, she emerged with a commitment not only to her craft, but also to the environment she cherished. The Lake District, once a backdrop for charming tales of rabbits and hedgehogs, had become a symbol of resistance and hope through her eyes. In retrospect, the war years proved both challenging and transformative for Beatrix Potter. They prompted her to explore new themes in her artwork, embrace activism, and adapt her creative processes in ways that honored both her artistic expression and the realities of a changing world. The stories and illustrations that emerged during this time conveyed resilience, and they underscored a message of hope amidst struggle, a legacy that would endure far beyond the war and resonate with generations to come. As the world moved forward into a new era, Beatrix Potter's adaptability and commitment to conveying joy and beauty through her art remained a testament to the enduring power of creativity in the face of adversity.